on the block. But at Halloween...
Uh-oh, I think I woke the neighbor.
He came home. Rated R.
Hey, what's up guys? So usually these home video reviews are for newer releases on Blu-ray, DVD, or VOD, whatever they are, but since it's Halloween, I'm making a few exceptions, including this one. This is a review for a Blu-ray for an older movie, but it's Halloween themed, and it's an independent movie from a great independent distributor, and they could always benefit from your purchase if you've never heard of this. And the first of those is The Barn. This movie is from 2016. It's a retro 80s throwback slasher. The basic premise is about a kid who is obsessed with Halloween, possibly to an unhealthy degree, and he winds up with a group of his friends at a barn surrounded by a local legend that if you go knock on the door and trick or treat, it will unleash some demonic Halloween spirits, which naturally turns out to be true. When this first came out, there was a pretty creative marketing campaign based around it with mock 80s commercials and even a NES style video game that came in a replica cartridge. Supposedly also they used a lot of period accurate technology and wardrobe to really nail that 80s feel. And in my opinion, they did a really great job. There's a lot of course, practical effects. There's a lot of kind of like rotoscope, lightning effects and stuff like that in the movie. There is some CGI blood and other moments where you can kind of tell they're not using technology of the time, but it doesn't take too much away from the movie. For what they were going for, it's one of the better attempts at that retro style, especially for this budget. Another really great thing about this movie are the characters. There are, I think, about 6 teenagers in here, and almost all of them are extremely likable. I would actually say one of the biggest flaws in this movie is that the main character is probably the least likable of the group. He kind of comes off as whiny and with a big victim complex. And when he's standing next to the other characters who are all really fun, he just kind of comes off as the hardest one to get behind, even though he's the one that you're supposed to. Another flaw of this movie kind of is that one of the ideas that was really great is that if you're wearing a costume, these 3 demons will walk right past you, and that's kind of stooped in like the whole lore of Halloween. The origin of costumes is to dress up like ghosts and demons so that you can walk among them without being in danger. I thought that was a great idea, and it's extremely underutilized in the movie. They touch on it and then they don't really take it anywhere. But despite that, it's still a great retro slasher. It's got tons of Halloween vibes. It's in my rotation every year. There are a few cameos, one of which is Linnea Quigley, who we all know and love, playing a very different role than she usually plays. It has a great 80s synth score, a lot of fun practical effects. So I'd say if you have a taste for independent movies and you love Halloween and that Halloween aesthetic, you'll definitely enjoy this. I would give it 3 stars. There are some flaws, but you almost kind of have to bump it up for the sake of the Halloween category for as well as they did for making this feel like Halloween, because they knocked that out of the park. The killers are cool. The legend behind them is cool. A lot of the rules they set up kind of like the way they do in Trick or Treat, even though it falls a little short in some aspects. Some of it is pretty cool. So if you love Halloween themed horror, definitely recommend this. And as far as the Blu-ray goes, first off, cover art, beautiful cover art. And if you can see this, there is alternate cover art that's kind of Scream Factory style. Definitely not my favorite. I've never been a huge fan of that kind of collage look, but it's there if you want it. I believe possibly that there is also a slipcover available with this. I don't have it personally. And right here it tells you there's over 90 minutes of special features. There is an audio commentary, a making of documentary, gag reel, deleted scenes, alternate ending, trailers, Harvest music video by Rebel Flesh. That's a band that plays in the movie. I guess they made a music video. All Hallows Eve short film, which is actually, I watched this. It was a short film that the writer and director made when he was a kid, starring the miner right there in the center. It's what you'd imagine. It's a VHS short film made by a kid at his house, but still pretty entertaining. London premiere reaction, commercials, storyboards, and reversible cover art. This is available at Screen Team Releasing. I'll leave a link in the description for you to go find it. It's a great little independent movie distributed by a great independent distributor. If you go to that site, you'll probably find a lot of other stuff you love because they really do back and distribute great independent movies, a lot of which are by filmmakers who kind of work together and make a lot of continuous stuff. As far as the release, I would give it 4 stars. Highly recommend buying it. Not only will you get a great movie to watch around Halloween, but you'll also be helping independent film, good independent film, which is very important, because that's where some of the best stuff is going to come out. There's less restrictions, no rules. They work outside of the Hollywood system, so they can do true art, even if it's campy, cheesy, throwback art, which is what I would categorize this as. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.